What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. I know y'all probably, y'all probably a little bit busy, but if you are here with us today, thanks for joining. We are live from the Alpha Esports and Technology Center, and by now you guys should know who I am. I'm Davin Jackson, D-Jax, coach to the kids. Dad to my kids and husband to my wife. So, thanks for coming through today. Again, we are going to jump right back into the Advent of Cyber. We are catching up from yesterday, which was day 8, and then we are going to take on day 9. So day 8, we have disk forensics. Which is awesome. I'm actually gonna probably have my daughter do day 8 later. She has an interest in digital forensics, and I think this would be a cool one with FTK. So we're gonna do disk forensics, and then we're gonna do malware analysis. So we're gonna go right ahead. We're just gonna start the machine real quick. Again, you see here we have. Looks like this is day 9. I don't know why it jumped to day 9. I don't want to do day 9. We're looking at day 8. Let's cancel that. And now let's go back. Hit our back button. Sorry. So again, if you want to know how to do the Advent of Cyber, since I messed up, you can go to tryhackme.com/r/Christmas, and that will... and that's how you can join. You have to sign up for a TryHackMe account, and the event is free. And when you participate in the event, after you knock out all 27 challenges, you will be able to get this certificate of completion, and then you will also be in the running for several of their prizes. So let's see if we can scroll down. So here you can see there's a Steam Deck. They're giving away 4 Steam Decks. They're giving away a Razer Basilisk V3 Pro mouse and dock bundle. They're also giving away some AirPods. They're giving away gaming chairs, electric standing desks. They're giving away an HP computer. They're giving away CompTIA Security Plus exam vouchers, which are really awesome. They're giving away the whole bundle, so it looks like you're going to get the training material as well as the exam and the practice test. Looks like you're going to get some 12-month and 6-month, 3-month, 1-month subscriptions to TryHackMe. You're also going to get You can also get a $50 swag voucher for their shop, and then you can get some AWS training, MetaQuest, and then an ultra wide. I'm not going to lie, I really like the ultra wide. I wouldn't mind the MetaQuest, and I definitely would not mind one of these Steam Decks. So shout out to TryHackMe for putting this on every year and getting everybody together. So anyway, we're gonna go right back in here. So if y'all are following along, just let me know in the comments where you're at and how the Advent of Cyber is going for you so far. Like I said, we are live on Restream on several different platforms. So we are on, looks like we are on today. We are on our Alpha Esports and Technology page, and we're also at the Alpha Esports and Technology Center here in Sewanee, Georgia. So we're on our Alpha Esports and Technology pages on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also streaming to our Alpha Cybersecurity page, which is our sister company and our sister page, on YouTube. And I'm also on my personal Twitch, which is DJax120, and then we are also streaming on LinkedIn. So shout out to LinkedIn. If you don't know by now, I am also a LinkedIn learning instructor. I authored the course, I'm going to say Advent of Cyber, learning the OWASP API Top 10 overview. So we did that one, and now we are actually in the process of coming out with another course. So shout out to LinkedIn for that, and we are streaming there as well. We're going to have to talk at some point where I can be able to stream from my actual... I'd really like to stream from from my actual pages on LinkedIn, but we have to work that up. And then also, since we are an Alpha Esports, since it is Alpha Esports and technology, we are also streaming. I'm not streaming. We're also here hanging out and checking out the opening weekend of the Call of Duty League. So shout out to Atlanta FaZe. I guess you would say that's our home team. So shout out to them. So we got some people here hanging out and watching. So if you do hear any things going on in the background, that is because we are checking out the stream. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started shortly. I just want to make sure we are all good to go. So I was gonna give it a couple more minutes for some people to join. Like I said, I know it's Saturday, I know it's the weekend, I know it's the holiday season, and I know a lot of people are probably running around and doing their shopping and stuff, so you probably aren't here, but if you are, I greatly appreciate you, and we are going to get this ball rolling. Like I said, it's not going to be a long stream. We're going to knock out these 2 days, and then we are going to let you get back to it. And again, I know a few people have asked me why don't I just pre-record like I did in 2021, and I want to be able to do it live this way. If anybody's here doing it with me and they have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask your questions in the chat, and we can work through it together. So again, like I said, just bear with me. So let's see here. We're just kind of getting everything up and running and checking out everything on all our channels and making sure everything looks good across all of our platforms. And if you are wondering how we are streaming to multiple platforms, that is thanks in part to Restream. So you can go to restream.io and set up an account there to get everything up and running there as well. So, all right, so it looks like we are ready to go. Our machine is just about ready. Again, it's giving us day 9, but we are going to focus on day 8. We started our machine, and if you wanted to watch the walkthrough video, you can click here and you can see that it is the wonderful John Hammond who is going to be doing today's walkthrough. But again, we're not going to watch it. We don't want to spoil it. We want to be able to kind of handle the challenges ourselves, and if we run into any problems, then maybe, just maybe, knock on wood, we haven't had to do any of that just yet, but I'm pretty sure as the challenges progress, it's a good resource to have to know that we can just kind of get back and get some help. All right, so here we go. We have our machine ready, and now we can get to it. So just let me know if y'all need any help, and let me know in the comments, and we'll see if we can walk through it together. All right, so all right, y'all good over there? Okay, who's playing first? Oh, okay. So looks like the opening weekend of the COD League. This is day 2. So yesterday we watched day 1. Today we are watching day 2, and it looks like the first match was Carolina, and I'm not sure who they're playing just yet. Again, if we're an esports center as well. So anyway, let's get to it. The drama unfolds as the Best Festival Company and Antarcticraft's merger wraps up. Okay, no, they're playing Miami. Sorry. Tracy McGreedy, now a grumpy regional manager, secretly plans sabotage. His sidekick, Van Sprinkles, hesitantly kicks off a cyber attack. But guess what? Van Sprinkles is having second thoughts and helps McSkitty's team bust McGreedy's evil scheme. Connecting to the machine. So we connected to the machine. It says we do need the VM and we do need the split screen. So it says we start the virtual machine in the split screen, and then we start the machine in the upper corner. Use the blue show split view at the top right. Alternatively, using the credentials, you can connect to the VM via RDP. Allow at least 4 minutes to fully deploy. Okay, so do we need to do that? Let's start the virtual machine in the split screen by clicking the green and then the upper right section. If the VM is not visible, then okay, so we have the VM right here. All right, so we're good. All right, the VM has all the artifacts to uncover McGreedy's shady plan. There's no need for fancy hacks, brute force, and the like. Dive into FTK Imager and start the detective work. Task objectives. Use FTK Imager to track down and piece together McGreedy's deleted digital breadcrumbs exposing his evil scheme. Learn how to perform the following with FTK Imager. Analyze digital artifacts as evidence, recover deleted digital artifacts and evidence, and then verify the integrity of a drive image used as evidence. So here's the part where we tell people in cybersecurity that when you delete things, nothing is truly ever deleted. And then you have tools like this that will prove that to you. So you can delete things and think you're deleting it, but what happens is the hard drive is just freeing up that space. To actually delete it, it needs to write over that initial thing where that data was originally. So that's why you have other tools that allow you to, when you're doing like a wipe with government standards, I think it used to be 7 passes. I think it's more than that now. But it's basically what it's doing is it's deleting it and it's writing over the data. So this way, that's how it truly gets deleted. But even then, if you don't write over it enough, you're still able to find fragments of it. I think of a time where one time I had to do something similar. I upgraded a family member's computer, and when I upgraded it, I had to wipe their hard drive and reinstall Windows. Well, the problem was I backed everything up to an external hard drive, and the external hard drive broke. Someone broke they dropped the external hard drive and it broke, and they weren't able to get their pictures off of the hard drive. They went to a shop, and I think they were going to charge them a lot of money to retrieve the stuff off of that hard drive. So what we ended up doing was I took their computer back and I used FTK Imager and I used some other tools, and I was actually able to retrieve those images that were on the hard drive that I had previously deleted like a week or 2 weeks prior. So again, anything you delete from a machine is never truly deleted. All right, so that's enough of story time. So we're going to do, join McSkitty, Forensic McBlue, and the other team, and the team in this digital forensics journey. Expose the corporate conspiracy by navigating through the cyber clues and unraveling McGreedy's dastardly digital deeds. Okay, so Antarcticraft's parking lot and the unsuspected Frostling. So it looks like Van Sprinkles wrestling with his conscience scatters USB drives loaded with the malware. Little do the Antarcticraft's employees know a storm is brewing on their network. So they drop some USBs. It looks like someone picked up the USB and plugged it into their computer. Don't ever do this, okay? If you see a USB and you don't know where it came from, don't plug it into your machine to find out where it came from. There's a scene in Mr. Robot back where they dropped a bunch of USBs on the thing, and they said it was like I think it was like a Wu-Tang album or something, and the prison guard uploaded it and was able to see what was on there, and that gave them access. But yeah, if you ever get a USB and you don't know, it's not your USB, you don't know where the USB come from, it wasn't a trusted source, do not ever plug that in, because you may be giving access or something, or uploading something when you think you're just trying to see what's on the file. Don't let your curiosity and your nosiness get you hacked. All right, so so we said that Van Jolly, shivering and clueless, finds a USB drive in a parking lot. Little does she know that plugging it in will unleash a digital disaster crafted by the vengeful McGreedy. But this is exactly what she does. So you see here, he drops them there, she picks one up, she plugs it in. An anonymous tip and confrontation with Van Jolly. Amidst the digital chaos of notifications and alerts, by the cyber attack, McSkitty gets a cryptic email. It's Van Sprinkles, written with guilt, nudging her towards exposing McGreedy without blowing his own cover. McSkitty, with a USB in hand, reveals to Van Jolly the true nature of her innocent find, a tool for digital destruction. Shocking disbelief play across Van Jolly's faces. McSkitty explains the gravity of the situation and digital pandemonium unleashed upon their network by the insidious device. McSkitty, Forensic McBlue, and the team, having confiscated the USB drive from Van Jolly, dive into a digital forensic adventure to unravel a web of deception hidden in the device. Every line of code has a story. McSkitty and the team piece it together, inching closer to the shadow in their network, investigating the malicious USB device. In our scenario, the right-protected USB drive that McSkitty confiscated will automatically be attached to the VM upon startup. The VM mounts an emulated USB flash drive, physical drive 2, on the Microsoft Virtual Disk in the read-only mode to replicate the scenario where a physical drive connected to a write blocker is attached to an actual machine for forensic analysis. So this is their forensic USB bridge. They plug this in here, and this is their information. When applied in the real world, a forensic lab analyst will first note the suspect drive and forensic artifact details, such as vendor, manufacturer, hardware ID, and then mount it with the right blocking device to prevent an accidental tampering during forensic analysis. So in the real world, they would use this, and what they're doing is they're preserving the USB, or they're preserving the evidence or the artifact in its original state, and then they're gonna keep all that information because they want to keep the chain of custody accurate. They want to make sure that nothing is tampered, because if they have to go to court, they want to be able to prove that this was what was on the data. This is what the data that was on there. They usually verify this by getting like the hashes of the drive, and then confirming that by showing that the hashes still match. Because if there's a difference in the hash, that means something was altered. And again, they want to keep chain of custody, and they want to keep everything in its natural state, so that this way, like I said, if they have to go to court and they have to testify to it, the defense or the opposition can't say that this was implanted, or that this evidence was planted in a way to set up or frame their client or anything like that. So again, it's crucial that they do this and keep that information accurate and keep it honest, because if they don't, it makes all the evidence, it basically makes the evidence inadmissible, and therefore throwing out any of their findings. All right. So, FTK Imager. So, FTK Imager is a forensics tool that allows forensic specialists to acquire computer data and perform analysis without affecting the original evidence, preserving its authenticity, integrity, and validity for presentation during trial in a court of law. So that's kind of what I was just saying earlier. They just made it sound a lot better. So working with FTK Imager, open FTK Imager. So we'll just go ahead and start that. So, and then it says navigate to file, add evidence, select physical drive, and in a pop-up window, then choose our emulated USB drive, physical drive, Microsoft Virtual Disk, 1 gig to proceed. All right, so wait for this to load. If y'all have done this challenge already and you're watching, just let me know how you, if you enjoyed this challenge, or what you found interesting about it. I've always liked digital forensics. The funny thing is, I actually wanted to do digital forensics. I wanted to switch from pen tester to digital forensics maybe about 2 years into my pen testing career. I wanted to switch to digital forensics, and I went and got certified, and I took a course, got certified, and even did like some digital forensics challenges and stuff like that as part of my certification process. And then when I met with a law enforcement officer who also did digital forensics for like the FBI and the Secret Service and all this stuff. And he gave me a tour and showed me his setup, which was a really cool setup with his machines that he used for his forensic analysis. But then it was at that time where we talked about, pursuing a career in it. And at that time, they said in order to really get into digital forensics, unless I was going to do it on my own, like a shop that kind of just did like data retrieval, but to actually to have a full-on career in digital forensics, I needed to work in law enforcement. And I wasn't going to go through the whole thing of being, going into the police academy and stuff like that. And then I think there was another friend of mine, and it was a federal job. But if I'm being honest, the pay wasn't the greatest. But again, it was something that I've always had interest in. And honestly, I think learning the digital forensic stuff actually made me a better pen tester, a better hacker, and kind of gave me that well-rounded thought process when I'm working through certain things, whether I'm trying to exploit certain things or trying to gain access to certain systems and stuff like that. I now have that knowledge of what they may look for in an incident response or a forensics type thing. So I try to either avoid it or cover my tracks better. All right. So, where are we? Okay, so we're good here. All right, so we open up FTK Imager, and now we need to go to File and add evidence item, and then it is a physical drive, and now we have our disk right here, and now you see we have our information with a whole bunch of, looks like just mangled garbage, right? You could actually see a little bit here. It says invalid partition table, error loading operating system, missing operating system. Okay, so again, there isn't, but other than that, you really can't make out too much information here, right? All right, so we got all our stuff here. And now what we're seeing here says, so if you look here, it's going to give you a quick tour. So this is our evidence tree here. This is the file list here. So any files that we should find. So basically, if we drop down here and then we look through stuff, we have our evidence tree. So this is all the stuff that is on the disk. And then it's going to scan different things. You see it scanning this partition, and then any files that we should come across would show up in this file list, and then the file content viewer, which you see down here, would bring up this information here. So it was like disk read error occurred, boot manager is compressed. So again, if we wanted, so as you see, we went and opened up this partition, and then in this partition, you see we have an orphan file with a bunch of files here. You have a root file with all the information here. So this looks like would be like the C drive in your Windows machine, and then this is an unallocated space. So again, and then as you can see, it's showing us the files here. So if we actually moved into root, you'll see now we have the recycling bin, the boot, the documents and settings, and then the program files, program data, recovery, users, and all of that good stuff. For those who are keeping up with the COD League stuff, it looks like the Miami Heretics just won the first game against the Carolina Royal Ravens. So just for those who are keeping up with that. All right, so following along. So we brought that information in there. So we have all of this, and now the previewing modes. There's FTK Imager presents 3 distinct modes for displaying file content arranged sequentially from left to right. So you see that's here, right? So you have automatic. So that the automatic mode selects the optimal preview method based on the file type. It utilizes Internet Explorer for web-related files. display text files, ASCII, Unicode, and opens up unrecognized file types in their native applications or hexadecimal code. Then you have text mode, which allows file contents to be previewed as ASCII or Unicode text. This mode is useful for revealing hidden text in binary and non-text text files. And then hex mode displays files in hexadecimal format, providing detailed view of the file data at the binary or byte level. All right, so here right now it looks like we are viewing it in automatic mode. And then if we use Control F for within a specific text within the file, we can open up the text preview. So let's go ahead and just show you that real quick. So if we go here, right, and then we hit Control F, you go ahead, you can see it here, and then we just hit find, or it's just kind of searching for it. We'll just go ahead and do that. So we'll hit Control F to search for specific text. So we go here. We'll start. Right. Okay. And then we'll just back up a little bit, and then like I said, we'll hit Control F. So now you see it says find what, and now if we do text, and now we're telling it. Now we're going to tell it to find, and we just hit find. So now it's going to look for that information. And then if we want to view or recover deleted files, in the file list pane and evidence tree, we just right click and then select export files. So then that would be up here, right? Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to close this. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to follow along exactly with what we see. So we're going to go into the root folder. Is that where we at? Is that where we are? Nope, we're in the physical. Nothing, partition, no name, okay. All right, so let's see. All right, so verifying image integrity. If we wanted to do that, we would go File, Verify drive image. So we can't do that right now. Select it from the evidence tree pane, right? So that's what we did here. And we can verify, right? So what I could actually right click it, and it'll give me that same verify option. Again, we're going to cancel again because, like I said, I don't want to do anything that's going to slow the VM down, but I'm pretty sure it's going to ask us again. So I might just do that anyway. All right. So now it says, what is the malware on the what is the malware C2 server? So use what you have learned today to analyze the contents of the USB drive and answer the questions below. Please use hex mode instead of text mode to avoid crashing FTK imager processing files as a text. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cancel. We'll just cancel the verification process. And now we're going to go ahead and look for that information. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to search through it, and then we're going to try to find the server, the C2 information. So let's see. We are going to go here. We're going to open up here. There's nothing here. Let's check. Let's check the recycling bin. Is there anything in the recycling bin? All right. Let's see. boop, 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 boop. Agent, Windows RE. All right. Unallocated space. All right. Partition 1, no name. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second here. Let me just respond to this. All right, y'all. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, so we are going to go to our physical drive. But first, let me make sure. Okay, so we are on our physical drive. And then we click here, we go here, and then we go here. And now we have our root file folder. And then let's see, we open up. Let's say that's a bad cluster. Then it says extended, deleted. There's nothing there. Recycling bin. Tools. Exit tool, recovery, program data, program files, perf logs, boot. I don't think we need that in there. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, my bad. We have been looking at the wrong disk. Okay. All right, that makes more sense now. Let's actually we're gonna go ahead and let's remove, and then let's remove. All right, cool. Let's start, because I thought so, because I was like, I don't see that information. So we'll go 1 gig Microsoft. Right, because that was the right disk, right? Is that the right one? Physical drive 2, yeah. So we okay. So I my fault. I opened the wrong one. So we were gonna do forensic stuff on the wrong stuff. All right. So now we'll go through here. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm responding to stuff here. I'm responding. I got stuff going on in the center. So. All right, cool. All right, so now we are back here. So now we have our physical drive, and then we have our root drive, and then if you look, there's something that says do not open, and then there's, well, of course we're gonna open it because it says do not open, and we're trying to do an investigation. So, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go into the do not open. Do not open has something called juicy tomatoy.zip. I'm not sure if that's the answer. Is that what we're looking for? What was the question again? What is the malware C2 server? So then, oh, geez. Let's just look around a little bit. So we have Cryptoid Miner, Juicy Tomatoy.zip, merger contract, and then secret chat. Okay. Let's read the secret chat. Hey, you there? Yeah, what's up? Just finalizing the malware C2 setup. This server is good to go. McGreedy. Okay, there it is right there. So McGreedy secret C2. So we'll just go ahead and hit paste and submit. And we do have our answer. And yes, we started up another streak for one day. I've got to have more consistency. What's the file inside the deleted zip drive? So the file within the deleted zip drive, that if it was deleted, then that would be the Juicy Tomatoy. So what I want you to see here is, again, these things are supposed to be deleted. If you see the red X, that means that this stuff was deleted, but somehow it's still there. Okay, so so if you want to go here, so that is the Juicy Tomatoy.zip. And then in there is a file called Juicy Tomatoy.exe. So we'll go ahead and I think that's the file we're looking for. Okay, so the answer it'd be Juicy Tomatoy.exe. All right, we're good. What is a flag hidden in one of the PNG files? So now we just need to go ahead and find the PNG file. So let's go back to our root drive. So we have a PDF here. We have the executable. We have some more PDFs. Oh, self-improvement. Oh, they're working on themselves. Good for them. Good for them. All right, so there's a wallpaper.png. And then is this one? Is that how? Let's see. Can we? It says we have to look at it from the hex view, right? They said don't do it in plain text because it would seize up the information. So let's just scroll and see if we see anything that looks like real words. I don't see, nope, I don't see anything. I'm just gonna kind of scroll back up. Okay, let's see. So it was in wallpaper PNG. There was nothing there. File Slack. Let's go back up. How about in do not? Oh, we are in. Let's see. We go to do not open. That's just a Juicy Tomatoy. Let's go back to root. So what else is here? All right, so we're in the root folder. Okay, password.png. Okay, so, and then we're gonna look at it in hex. Nope, I don't see nothing so far, but let's not be impatient. Right, we don't want to be impatient. So this is, what is the flag? All right. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't want to, let's see. So if it's a flag, we know the flag starts with THM. All right, so here's where we will go ahead and do F, and then we're gonna look for THM. So we did the Control F, and then remember we want to look for it in here. Okay, so there's a THM there. All right, so if we do copy, show decimal, fit, okay. Fine, hex, THM, no, can't do that. All right, so THM, no, THM, all right, find. Is it only in one spot? Why won't it? Okay, let's do this then. Let's do THM bracket. Okay, here we go. That's better. Okay, and then copy the text. THM byte level analysis. All right, and then what is the SHA-1 hash of the physical and the forensic image? So now we just need to go ahead and click File, and then like we said before, so go up here, hit File, verify drive and image, and it's going to give us a few seconds so I can check out, we'll see what's going on here with this match. It is still Miami Heretics are up one game against Carolina Royal Ravens in the COD League opening weekend. And they are, looks like they're up 5-4 in their search and destroy match. So again, if you guys follow the COD League, the opening weekend is on YouTube. All right, so the SHA-1 hash is right here. So we'll go ahead and see if we can copy and paste. Hit submit, and then it says if you like today's challenge, digital forensics. If you like the digital forensics case room is an excellent overview of the entire digital forensics and incident response process. All right, so we have finished. That was day 8. All right, so congratulations, we got through it. We'll just go ahead and we'll terminate the machine, and now we will jump into day 9. Day 9 says we need to have, it looks like we're going to have an attack box. So we're going to do that and get that started. Right? And let's scroll back up. So day 9 looks like we're going to be doing some malware analysis. While that's loading up, and then we'll just go ahead and hit start the machine. All right, so if y'all see me coming back and forth here again, I'm responding to other messages. I have my Discord server going. I have, some customer service stuff. And then I'm also just kind of making sure that we're still good to go on all of our streams. Now, remember, we are streaming on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and I believe we're also streaming on Facebook. I keep leaving Facebook out. My bad, Facebook. I love y'all. I love y'all who are supporting us over on Facebook. It's not on purpose. I promise. I'm just not used to streaming to Facebook just yet. So, but shout out to y'all. All right. So, are we good to go? Yep, we are good to go with, and I think we're ready to go with day 9. So. It says click here if you want to watch the video. That was done by Husky Hacks, so shout out to Husky Hacks. It says, having retrieved the deleted version of the malware that allows Tracy McGreedy to control elves remotely, Forensic McBlue and his team has started investigating to stop the mind control incident. They are now planning to take revenge by analyzing the C2's backend infrastructure based on the malware source code. So it looks like we're going to do some source code analysis. Now, just keeping it a buck here, full disclosure, I am not the greatest at source code analysis, even as an AppSec guy or a pen tester, application pen tester. That is definitely not one of my strong suits, but we're gonna get through it. Again, you don't have to be perfect at everything. I know enough to kind of understand what's happening and to follow along, but I would definitely say it's not one of my my strong suits. So with that, it says now we are going to focus on following the vital learnings to assist Forensic McBlue in analyzing the retrieved malware sample. The foundations of analyzing malware samples safely, the fundamentals of .NET binaries, the DN spy tool for decompiling malware samples written in .NET, and building an essential methodology for analyzing malware source code. So malware handling 101. Warning, handling malware sample is dangerous. Always take precautions during your analysis. As mentioned, handling malware is dangerous because it is software explicitly designed to cause harm, steal information, or compromise the security and functionality of computer systems. Given this, we will introduce the concept of malware sandboxing. A sandbox is like a pretend computer setup that acts like a real one. It's a safe place for experts to test malware and see how it behaves without any danger. So this is almost very similar to a lab, but it's a lot safer. Having a sandbox environment is essential when conducting malware analysis because it stops experts from running malware on their actual work computers, which could be risky and harmful. A typical environment setup of a malware sandbox contains the following: network controls. Sandboxes often have network controls to limit and monitor the network traffic the malware generates. This also prevents the propagation of malware and any other assets. Virtualization. So again, like I said, like a virtual machine or a virtual lab, but safer. Many sandboxes use technologies like VMware, VirtualBox, or Hyper-V to run the malware in a controlled, isolated environment. This allows for easy snapshots, resets, and disposal after the analysis. And then monitoring and logging. Sandboxes record detailed logs of the malware's activities, including system interactions, network traffic, and file modification. These logs are invaluable for analyzing and understanding the malware's behavior. Connecting to the machine. So again, we don't need an attack box. Oh, but we did start one, so we don't need it. But so we'll just go ahead and close that. But we do need the VM, right? No, did I do? Wait. Oh no, there you go, right there. It's the same image. DN spy right there. All right, start the attached machine, start machine at the button, split view. Okay, so that's if we wanted to RDP into it again. Building from the VM on day 8, we can use a password day 9 to unlock the zip file. All right, to unlock the zip, so we have to unlock the zip file. unlock the zip archive. Okay, so we have to go back into the FTK imager? Is that what we have to do? All right, let's see. You know what? Let's see. I guess we will. Let's check our tools. Okay, FTK Imager, EXIF tool, DNSpy. So let's start DNSpy, and then we'll also start FTK Imager. And then this is the password. So while we're waiting for that to load, so .NET binary, we're going to do the introduction to .NET binaries. .NET binaries are compiled files containing code written in languages compatible with the .NET framework, such as C#, VBNet, F, or managed C++. These binaries are executable files with the .exe extension or dynamic link libraries with the DLL extension. They can also be assemblies that contain multiple files and resources. All right, so build it. So it says we just go ahead and we'll add our evidence item. It was a physical drive. It's right here. We'll hit that, and then we need to go ahead and open up there. Okay, compared to other programming languages, such as C#, don't directly translate to the code in the machine. Instead, they use an intermediate language like pseudocode and translate it into native machine code during runtime via common. All right, so, all right. Alright, so we are going to export it and just put it on our desktop. Okay, so now if we minimize, and there's our file right there, but it looks like it was already unzipped. So I'm not gonna open that. I'm not gonna do that. Alright. Alright, so let's see, based on the elf's initial text, it has been discovered that the retrieved malware is written in C#. So let's quickly discuss the code syntax. Note you can skip the section if you're already familiar, else check the view code snippets below. So for this section, let's use this code snippet. So demo only, internal class, static void, main string, arguments, string to print hello world, show output. All right, so right here it's going to say the namespace. So the namespace is the container that organizes related code elements such as classes into a logical grouping. It helps prevent naming conflicts and provide structure into the code. In this example, the namespace demo only is the namespace that contains the basic programming class. The class defines the structure and behavior through functions or methods of the objects it contains. In this example, basic programming is a class that includes the main function and the show output function. Moreover, the main function is the program's entry point where the program starts its execution. So you see here, so now this is its class, the basic programming. The main function is right here. And then the function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task or action. In this example, the show output function takes the string through the text argument as an input and uses it on the console write line to print it as output. Note that the show output function only receives one argument based on how it's written. So string to print hello world, and then the show output is the arg to print. A named storage location that can hold data such as numbers, numbers or integers, text, also known as strings, or objects. In this example, toPrint is a variable that handles the text hello world. So, okay, so this is the variable. All right, show output is toPrint is the variable, and that handles the output to hello world. Okay, then you have your for loops. A for loop is a control structure used to repeatedly execute a block of code specified a number of times. It typically consists of three main components: initialization, condition, and iteration. Let's use an example below. So for initialization, condition, iteration. For integer I equals 1, I is less than 5. Okay, and then so basically what it's saying is it wants to iterate. So I is the number 1, and then if this is less than 5, it's going to keep going up. So it's going to basically write I love McSkitty up to 5 times. In this example, the loop is initialized with 1 and stored with the variable I, initialization. It checks if variable I is less or equal to 5, the condition, and increments 1 to itself. Add 1 to itself every loop iteration. So in simple terms, a code snippet means that the console write line function 5 times, since the loop will count from 1 to 5. Loops can be immediately terminated using the code break. Conditional statements like if and else are control flow statements used for conditional code execution. They allow you to control which code block should be executed based on a specific condition. So if the number is greater than 5, then write that the number is greater than 5. Else console write line, the number is less or equal to 5. Based on the example above, if statement checks whether the number variable contains a number greater than 5 and prints a string. The number is greater than 5. If the condition is not satisfied, it will go for the else statement, which prints the number is less or equal to 5. Essentially, it will go to the code block of the if statement, and if the number variable is 7, it'll go to the else code block if the number variable is set to 4. Importing modules, okay. C2 primer. According to Forensic McBlue, he retrieved the malware sample and is presumed to be related to the organization's remote mind control over C2 incident. So to build the right mindset in solving this case, let's look at the run through below about malware with C2 capabilities. C2, or command and control, refers to a centralized system or infrastructure that malicious actors use to remotely manage and control compromised devices or systems. It serves as a channel through which attackers issue commands to compromise entities, enabling them to carry out various activities such as data theft, surveillance, or other malware propagation. So here you see the user executes the malware connects to the C2 server, which is over here. The C2 server responds with the set of instructions, and then the malware reports back the output to the C2 server. The attacker connects to the C2 server and issues commands. So essentially you're setting up the C2 server here. This is the victim. So the attacker sets up the C2 server, connects to it, sends its malware or phishing emails or whatever to the victim. The victim would then execute that malware by clicking the link or opening up whatever file it is, plugging in the USB drive or what have you, and whatever it does to execute the malware. Then the malware would then report back to the C2 server, which would then also report back to the attacker. And then the attacker would then have command or have control over the victim's machine. Seeing C2 traffic means that the malware has already been executed inside the victim machine, as detailed in the diagram above. In terms of the cyber kill chain stages, the attacker has successfully crafted and delivered the malware to the target and potentially moves laterally inside the network to achieve this objective. To expound further, malware with C2 capabilities typically exhibits the following behavior: HTTP requests. So C2 servers often communicate with compromised assets using HTTP requests. So this could be like your get, your post, put, delete. These requests can be used to send commands or receive data. Command execution. This behavior is most common, allowing attackers to execute OS commands inside the machine. Sleep or delay. To evade detection or maintain stealth, threat actors typically instruct the running malware to enter a sleep or delay for a specific period. During this time, the malware won't do anything. It will only connect back to the C2 once the timer completes. We will try to find these functionalities during in the following section. Now that we've tackled the theoretical concepts behind our technical skills, let's start playing with fire, or the malware. Since we already assumed that the malware sample is written in C#, we will use DNS spy. So we'll just bring up DNS spy. So let's close FTK Imager again, just to make sure that we're not choking up our VM. So DN Spy is an open source .NET assembly debugger and editor. It's typically used for reverse engineering .NET applications and analyzing their code, and is primarily designed for examining and modifying .NET assemblies in a user-friendly, interactive way. It's also capable of modifying the retrieved source code and editing and setting breakpoints or running through the code one step at a time. This is known as debugging. As mentioned above, we won't execute the malware, so the debugging functionality will not be discussed in the following sections. All right, so we open up DNS, the DN Spy. Oh, it looks like I clicked it twice, so we'll close out one, and then we'll go ahead and do File, and then go to Open, and then we're going to go to our desktop because that's where we put our Juicy Tomato toy. We're going to go into artifacts. We're going to click all files, and then we see Juicy Tomato toy defang. So we actually did not need to do that. So we're just going to move this to our recycling bin just to make sure we get rid of it. Again, we're not fully deleting it, but we're getting rid of it. And then we're going to go ahead and click open. So now it has all of our information here. So let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and just open up everything. Let's not open that just yet. All right. So as discussed in the previous section, the main function in a class is the program's entry point. So again, we have to find the main function. So that is in our program. So we have Juicy Tomato toy, and then here, and then our program. Click that. Let it decompile. All right, so now we have system. No. Oh, let's go back, please. Let's go back to our program. Okay, so we have to look for the program. I want to close that down. Okay, because I want to see. Okay. So, let's see here. Namespace is Juicy Tomato, internal class program. And then here's our main function right here. All right, so string, so the host name, get host name, string host McGreedy secret C2 THM. Program, so it looks like a sleeper. Okay, array, so if sleep, if shell, if implant, quit, else, implant, http stash.mcgreedy, thm spy kit. All right, so when you see the main function, it says don't worry, don't be overwhelmed. We'll discuss other functions. Focusing on the individual functions before dealing with the main function can be considered a modular approach. Doing this allows us to easily break down the malware's functionalities without getting bogged down with long code snippets. Moreover, it allows us to recognize some potential execution patterns to ease our overall understanding of the malware. To start with the list of functions inside the program. Okay, so you see, you can click that. which we did. After clicking, you will see the functions in the drop-down menu. Let's run through them individually to better understand the code's meaning. You can click on the items as we discussed to compare the code in DNSpy. It's also advisable to read the .NET Framework documentation to learn more about the internal functions mentioned in the following sections. So you have the the get it functions. Uses the web request class from system.net. So again, let's come back up. Come back up here. We'll start from the top. HTTP request. I don't see what they're. Oh, is that? Did I just jump past it? Yeah, there it is. So basically, here at the bottom, you see, based on the source code, the getIt function uses the web request. So this right here, HTTP web request. And then the class is, okay, so get bytes. So this is actually a post right here. So where's the other one? Oh, it's up. Is this one? So this is, that's the user agent, get response, read to end.
No one knows enough about your teammates. What can you tell me about each of the players on your squad?
I think most people forgot that my 3 teammates dominated the league 4 years ago. So they're people
let's scroll up some.
I think I proved in the second half of the season last year that I was able to compete against the best. So it was just a matter of time to prove people.
Okay, so that's a sleeper count.
Obviously, Carolina is not the strongest team, so it's a good first step. But we want to compete among the best. We want to be in that top 4 every single event. So we're just gonna keep working hard.
Web request. Okay, so here we go, the get it string. All right, sorry, I was trying to look for it manually. All right, but we did find this earlier. This is what we found here, where we said it was the user agent here. Get response stream to stream reader. Get response create URL, string URL. Okay, and then it says HTTP web request, user agent. Okay, that information, return new stream reader. Okay, web request. Okay, here, get request, get response. I don't see where it says class though, but this is it right here, right? Yep. All right, so okay, so by default, the web request class is get, which means we can assume it made a get request. Okay, so by default, 3 lines of, okay, so if we don't see, the actual, request, then we're just to assume that it's a get request, right? I think that's what we got here. All right. Okay. Cool. So we have then. Okay. So now we have that. View the code snippet in simple terms and post it, which is down here. Is the argument is post data. So again, this is the web request here, and then it should tell us that the method was post. Yep. All right. Sleeper. So the sleeper right here. The sleeper function only contains a signal line, and that is telling us that there's a sleeper count. So you see thread.sleep function. The thread.sleep function accepts an integer as its argument and makes the program pause for milliseconds based on the value. All right, so we need to, okay. And then we have, all right, execute command. So this is going to tell us Given the namespace, system diagnostic initialize first code. Function seems to spawn a process according to Microsoft documentation. From the initialization of the process start info properties, we can also see that the files that execute command.exe. And so you see it right here, command.exe. Okay. In short, the code snippet is command.exe C command variable. Okay. And then it says window. Another thing to note is the window style. Okay. Encryptor. So this probably will tell us how it's been encrypted. So we have the bytes, encoding, ASCII, get bytes. You can't hack this, super. Okay. And then it's converting to base 64. Or, yep, and it says, yep, right here, convert to base 64. So okay, so it's not really encrypted or like that, or if it is, it's not that great, because we could, we can decode that. And then same thing, so from base 64 string, get bytes. Okay? All right, so I think we have enough here. Now that we've analyzed the other functions, now we can return to the main function. So that's back up here in the program. And then the main says the DNS, get DNS host name, or get host name. Right, again, viewing the main source code is a bit overwhelming since the 60 lines, but to make things simple, let's split it into 3. So it says the first code section before the loop executes the following. Retrieves the victim's machine via machine's hostname via get hostname function and stores it into a variable. Okay, so that's where you see these empty parentheses here. All right, so initialization of the HTTP URL together with the data submitted to the registry endpoint. So HTTP, so here, let's just go here. String HTTP McGreedy secret C2, and then the URL string is /reg. So the full URL would be HTTP McGreedy secret C2 THM /reg, and then the string data name. So it would be the name plus the host name. So it would be whatever this host name information here that we would gather. Okay, execution of the HTTP post request to the target URL string variable together with the post data that contains the host name of the victim's machine, the data variable. It is also notable that the response from the HTTP request is stored in another variable, string 2. So string and then string 2, program posted URL plus data. Then the integer count is 15,000 milliseconds, which means it's about 15 seconds. And then there is no Boolean flag. Okay, as you can see, the most of the line section is about initializing the variable. However, there are two notable functions. The call DNS get hostname function that retrieves the victim's hostname, and the attempt to distinguish a compromised machine based on their hostname is typical malware behavior. We have already discussed the posted function, and we know that it makes a post request to the URL, first argument. So that's here, up here, right? Right here, string 2, program, so it's posting to the URL, and then the post data is the second argument. In this initial step, it seems that the malware reports the host name of the compromised machine first to establish the C2 connection before executing the other functionalities. And then I think that what that functionality was the command shell code inside the for loop. In this section, you'll see that the for loop is written without any initialized values or initialization condition in increment section. This means that the loop will run indefinitely until a break statement is used. Afterwards, so remember how it was like if it was less than 5 or whatever, it would keep going, but once it got to 5, it would stop. So now there's nothing here that's stopping that. Okay, afterwards, the first line blocks the sleeper block uses the sleeper function, wherein the count variable, which was that right here, the integer 15,000, a variable is being passed. Remember that the variable was already initialized before the for loop. The following code lines are variable initialization, wherein the string and string2 variables, so that's here, string, here, so McGreedy, and then string2, which was the posted data variables are used. E.g., if the value of the string or of evil.com and the value of string2 is test, then the result would be evil.com task test. Okay. Eventually, the URL2 variable is used by the get it to do a get request past. Okay. Lastly, the execution flow will enter the if statement only if the variable is not empty. Okay. View code snippet. All right. So I think we got enough here to understand what's going on. Then the contents of each conditional statement. Okay, I think we have enough. All right. What HTTP user agent by the malware for its connection to the C2 server? So we saw that earlier. It was in the post-it. So we can just go here. We can copy that and we can just go ahead and paste that because it would be the Mozilla Firefox, right? And then what is the HTTP method used to submit the command execution output? So we know that it is post because we're here. So we'll just copy. Sorry. We don't really need to do that, but we'll just go ahead and we will hit post and hit submit. Okay, what is the key used in the malware to encrypt the data to the C2? So remember, it was in the encryptor, and because we said it was doing here, and then it was in base 64. So we can go ahead and hit copy here, paste, and then what is the first HTTP URL used by the malware? So that was the go back up here to program. Go back up here to program. So that was this HTTP McGreedy, and then remember the full URL. So it is McGreedy secret c2.thm and then it's /reg. Right? Okay. Now it says how many seconds was hard coded into the sleep function. So again, we can just look here. So you remember it is the initial, the int count, right? Actually, I clicked it. I didn't mean to click that, but we'll just go ahead because now it's going to show you everywhere that pops up. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We'll come back up to the program. So we see here the int count is at 15,000, so that's 15 milliseconds, so that's 15 seconds. Okay, what is the C2 command the attacker uses to execute via command execute commands via command.exe? So that was spykit.exe. Okay. What is the C2 command the attacker uses via command.exe? Where was that? Where was that? Here we go. So if sleep shell, I think it was shell, right? So not a equals. Okay, all right, yeah, so I think it's shell. I just wanted to double check. All right, What is the domain used by the malware to download another binary? What is the domain used to download another binary? It's not that. Here it is right here. http stash.mcgreedy.thm. And again, you see the sleeper count. It's going here, is null or empty, and then it goes here. So if there's a sleep, shell, implant, or quit, but then if not, it says the implant, program the implant from this here, from stash.mcgreedy.thm/spykit. Okay, so we'll go ahead there. All right, and we have finished up there, and we can just hit complete. So we are done with day 9. All right, so what's going on, Maddox? We are just wrapping up day 8 and day 9, and we're also watching, well, I'm watching here at the center, we're watching the opening weekend of the Call of Duty League. We watched day 1 yesterday, and, well, actually, we watched it off stream yesterday, and we're watching now. But we have just wrapped up day 8 and day 9. Again, shout out to Husky Hacks who did the walkthrough video. Now y'all can watch it, seeing that we finished it spoiler free. But we are all set here. We have done we did day 9, but it's not. Did we not answer all the questions? Let's scroll down. Oh, we have to submit this last one. There we go. All right, I was looking, I'm like, why is there no check there? So yeah, so we just finished up day 9. This one is another fun one. Like I said, I'm not the greatest at code review, but you know, again, I know enough to kind of understand what's going on. But they did a great job of kind of going through this. I wonder if there's actually I should look to see if there's a source code analysis room for TryHackMe. I think that would be super helpful. So they have a malware analysis module in the SOC level 2 path. But like I said, we're all done with that. You know what? As we're going through and as we're heading into 2024, I want y'all to leave in the comments if you want us to kind of do more of these like Learn With Me streams. Again, you have a lot of people, and I'm not knocking nobody. Heck, I did a bunch of them last year for not last year, the year before, for the Advent of Cyber. But let me know if you guys like the live stream format versus the pre-recorded. I'm trying to do a lot of the live stream this year. 2021, I did a mix of them. I did mostly pre-recorded videos, but then I also did a couple of live streams. But I really want to move into 2024 with a lot of this kind of learn with me type vibe, where people can either follow along or they can comment or they could leave their questions as we work through it together. I have a lot of content coming up in the top of the year with, a lot of application security stuff. So web app pen testing, mobile pen testing, API pen testing. We'll be going through a lot of that in a Learn With Me style stream. I'm also going to probably look at some stuff with cloud, so AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure. I want to do a lot of that, but only if it's going to be helpful to y'all. So let me know in the comments if these Learn With Me type streams would be helpful. We could do things like TryHackMe. We could do like what I'm doing over with World of Haiku. Shout out to the team at Haiku. And then I also want to take a look at some other platforms as well, like Pen Tester Lab and things like that. Maybe even go back to Cybrary. But like I said, just let me know if that's helpful to y'all. If y'all would like to see that, if y'all would like to be a part of that. And also, you could keep up with everything that we're doing by, again, liking this video, liking the previous videos, checking those out, subscribing to the channels, following wherever it is that you're watching, and just rocking with us that way. And if you want to support, you can go to buymeacoffee/DJaxAlpha, DJax_alpha. It's not mandatory, but it is greatly appreciated. And again, it kind of keeps everything going. It helps support the center. Again, we want to kind of get a lot of our tech and cybersecurity stuff going, along with our esports and our gaming. We want to kind of really get around into the community, not just physically in person, but our online community as well. So again, just let me know in the comment section if you find this useful and find this helpful to you. And I will see you guys and girls and everybody else. I will see y'all probably not tomorrow, but we'll probably hop on Monday and do day 10 and day 11. And then I'll also get back on later on in the day and do finally finish up that haiku stream. So, or at least finally finish up that part 1 of haiku, so we could jump into part 2. So until next time, y'all. Again, like I said, we are going to go ahead and finish up watching we're gonna go ahead and nope, wrong one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to finish up the Call of Duty weekend, at least day 2. We're going to watch it out. We're going to watch it here, and then I'll probably get on and do some gaming later. We did do the rocket racing last night in Fortnite, which was really awesome. I'm going to probably get back on there because I started out really strong. If you could check that stream out on Twitch, and I think you also check it out on YouTube. But we started out strong, and then it just kind of got crazy at the end. I guess people started kind of catching up as we were getting better. So was the competition. So, yeah, we'll probably be on a little bit later with that. So, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all later. All right? Peace out.